Welcome back to World History Explored. In today's episode, we're diving into the compelling history of Lithuania, a nation with a rich cultural heritage and a fascinating journey through centuries of change. From its early tribal roots to becoming one of the most powerful states in medieval Europe, and eventually reclaiming its independence in the modern era, Lithuania's story is one of resilience, unity, and pride. Let's explore the remarkable history of this Baltic nation. Ancient Lithuania, tribal beginnings. The history of Lithuania begins with its early inhabitants, who settled in the region over 12,000 years ago after the last ice age. These early communities were hunter-gatherers, relying on the abundant resources of the region's forests, rivers, and coastline. Archaeological evidence, including tools, pottery, and burial sites, sheds light on their daily lives and spiritual practices. These societies were skilled at crafting tools from flint and bone, which they used for hunting and fishing in the dense forests and along the Baltic Sea. By the 3rd millennium BCE, the ancestors of the modern Lithuanians, Indo-European Balts, had established themselves in the region. They developed distinct languages and cultural traditions, many of which centered around nature worship. The Baltic tribes maintained their independence for centuries, forming a loose confederation of communities that traded amber, often referred to as Baltic gold, with distant regions such as Rome, Greece, and Egypt. This trade not only connected Lithuania to the Mediterranean world, but also introduced influences that shaped early Baltic craftsmanship and societal organization. During this period, the Baltic tribes built hill forts for defense and practiced polytheistic religions, with deities representing natural forces and phenomena. Festivals and rituals tied to the agricultural calendar played a central role in their culture, many of which would later influence modern Lithuanian traditions. Amber craftsmanship and trade became defining features of Baltic cultural identity, with Lithuanian amber becoming highly prized across Europe and beyond. Burial mounds from this era reveal the intricate rituals and social hierarchies that existed among these ancient communities. The rise of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. The turning point in Lithuanian history came in the early medieval period with the emergence of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. In 1236, the unification of the Baltic tribes under the leadership of Grand Duke Mindaugas marked the beginning of a powerful Lithuanian state. Mindaugas converted to Christianity in 1251 and was crowned the first and only king of Lithuania in 1253. His reign helped establish Lithuania as a recognized political entity in Europe. This strategic conversion to Christianity was instrumental in fostering diplomatic ties with Western Europe and shielding Lithuania from further religious crusades. The Grand Duchy of Lithuania expanded rapidly, becoming one of the largest and most influential states in medieval Europe. By the 14th century, under the leadership of Grand Duke Gediminas and his successors, the Grand Duchy stretched from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea, encompassing parts of modern-day Belarus, Ukraine, Poland, and Russia. Gediminas, a visionary leader, sent letters to European rulers, inviting merchants, artisans, and scholars to settle in Lithuania. This helped establish Vilnius as a thriving capital and a center of culture, trade, and diplomacy. Despite its size and power, Lithuania remained a pagan state, resisting the Christianization efforts of neighboring powers such as the Teutonic Knights. This resistance culminated in numerous conflicts, including the pivotal Battle of Grunwald, 1410, where a combined Lithuanian-Polish army decisively defeated the Teutonic Knights, ending their dominance in the region. This battle is remembered as one of the greatest military victories in Lithuanian history and a symbol of national pride. The Grand Duchy of Lithuania was known for its religious tolerance and multi-ethnic population, creating a relatively harmonious society that allowed various cultures and faiths to coexist. This inclusiveness strengthened its position as a significant power in Eastern Europe. The Grand Duchy's legal system, codified in the statutes of Lithuania, was advanced for its time, addressing issues of property, trade, and justice. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. In 1385, the Union of Creva laid the groundwork for a close political and dynastic alliance between Lithuania and Poland. Grand Duke Jogaila of Lithuania married Queen Jadwiga of Poland, converting to Christianity and becoming King Władysław II Jagiełło of Poland. This union brought Lithuania into the fold of Western Christendom and strengthened its position against external threats. The conversion of Lithuania marked the end of its pagan era and aligned it with the broader European Christian community. The relationship between the two nations culminated in the creation of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth in 1569, one of the largest and most populous states in Europe. The Commonwealth was characterized by its unique political system, which granted significant autonomy to both Poland and Lithuania while fostering a shared culture and economy. It was governed by a parliament known as the Sejm, where representatives from both nations participated in decision-making. This political system was one of the earliest examples of a constitutional monarchy and provided a framework for cooperative governance. During this period, Vilnius flourished as a hub of education and art. The establishment of Vilnius University in 1579 marked a significant milestone in the region's intellectual and cultural development. The city became a beacon of learning, attracting scholars, writers, and artists from across Europe. This golden age of culture saw the creation of works in literature, architecture, and the sciences that enriched Lithuanian heritage. The Baroque and Gothic influences in Vilnius's architecture remain a testament to this era. However, the Commonwealth faced internal challenges, including political instability and conflicts with neighboring powers such as Sweden, Russia, and the Ottoman Empire. The Deluge, 1655 to 1660, a series of devastating wars with Sweden and Russia, significantly weakened the Commonwealth, leading to economic decline and population loss. The wars devastated the countryside, reduced the population, and disrupted trade networks, leaving long-term scars on the region's economy and society. The decline of the Commonwealth began in the 17th century, exacerbated by wars, economic hardships, and increasing foreign influence. The final blow came in the late 18th century when the partitions of Poland-Lithuania by Russia, Prussia, and Austria erased the Commonwealth from the map of Europe. Lithuania was absorbed into the Russian Empire, marking the beginning of a new and challenging era. The loss of statehood was a profound blow to the Lithuanian people, who faced centuries of foreign domination. Lithuanian National Awakening. If you're enjoying this historical journey so far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to World History Explored. Your support helps us bring fascinating stories like these to more history enthusiasts. The 19th century was a period of cultural suppression and resistance for Lithuania. Under Russian rule, efforts to Russify the region included the banning of the Lithuanian language in public life and the closure of Catholic institutions. Despite these measures, Lithuanians maintained their cultural identity through clandestine activities such as the printing and distribution of Lithuanian language books, known as the knygnešijai, book smugglers. These individuals risked severe punishment to ensure that Lithuanian literature and education continued to thrive. The Lithuanian National Awakening emerged in the late 19th century, driven by figures such as Jonas Basanavičius and Vinkas Kudirka. This movement sought to revive Lithuanian culture, language, and national pride. Newspapers like Aušra, the Dawn, and Varpas, the Bell, became symbols of the struggle for cultural preservation and independence. Basanavičius, often called the Patriarch of the Nation, played a pivotal role in rallying Lithuanians around their shared heritage and aspirations for self-determination. The growing sense of national identity paved the way for political aspirations. By the early 20th century, Lithuanians were actively advocating for greater autonomy within the Russian Empire. The turmoil of World War I and the Russian Revolution created an opportunity for Lithuania to assert its independence. This era also saw the rise of the Lithuanian intelligentsia, who championed education and cultural renewal as pathways to national revival. Folk music, traditional crafts, and storytelling became vital tools for uniting Lithuanians and fostering national pride. Independence and the interwar period. On February 16, 1918, the Act of Independence of Lithuania was signed, declaring the country's sovereignty. The newly established Republic of Lithuania faced significant challenges, including territorial disputes with Poland and the need to rebuild its economy and institutions. The Vilnius region, in particular, became a contentious issue, as it was annexed by Poland, leaving Lithuania without its historic capital. Despite this setback, Lithuania established Kaunas as its temporary capital and began rebuilding its political and economic systems. During the interwar years, Lithuania achieved remarkable progress in education, agriculture, and infrastructure. Kaunas, serving as the temporary capital, became a vibrant cultural and political center. The city underwent significant modernization, with new schools, government buildings, and cultural institutions emerging as symbols of national pride. Lithuania's agricultural exports, particularly dairy and grain products, became a cornerstone of its economy. This period also saw the establishment of numerous cultural organizations that promoted the arts and literature. However, political instability and economic struggles persisted, culminating in the authoritarian rule of Antanas Smetona from 1926 onward. While Smetona's government promoted national unity and modernization, it also suppressed political opposition and curtailed democratic freedoms. The interwar period remains a time of cultural renaissance, but also one of political challenges that shaped the nation's identity. World War II and Soviet occupation. In 1939, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union secretly divided Eastern Europe into spheres of influence. Lithuania was initially assigned to Germany's sphere, but was later handed over to the Soviet Union. In 1940, the Soviet Union occupied Lithuania, and the country was forcibly incorporated as a Soviet republic. This occupation brought significant upheaval, including mass arrests and the deportation of tens of thousands of Lithuanians to Siberian labor camps. When Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union in 1941, Lithuania fell under German occupation. The Holocaust had a devastating impact on Lithuania's Jewish population, with over 90% perishing during the war. Lithuanian partisans, known as the Forest Brothers, resisted both Nazi and Soviet forces, fighting for national independence. By 1944, the Soviet Union had reoccupied Lithuania, ushering in another wave of repression and deportations. The Soviet era, resistance and cultural survival. Under Soviet rule, Lithuania experienced widespread efforts to suppress its national identity. The Lithuanian language and culture were systematically marginalized, while the regime promoted atheism and collectivization. Despite these challenges, Lithuanians preserved their heritage through underground movements, including the secret printing of books, newspapers, and religious materials. Folk traditions and music festivals became quiet acts of defiance against the Soviet system. The post-war decades saw economic and industrial development, particularly in urban areas. However, this came at the cost of environmental degradation and a loss of rural traditions. Lithuanian dissidents, including prominent intellectuals, continued to resist Soviet policies. In the 1970s and 1980s, opposition to the regime gained momentum, laying the groundwork for future independence movements. The Singing Revolution and restored independence. The 1980s brought significant political changes across the Soviet Union under Mikhail Gorbachev's policies of glasnost, openness, and perestroika, restructuring. In Lithuania, these reforms inspired a wave of national awakening. The Singing Revolution, a series of peaceful protests characterized by mass singing events, became a powerful symbol of resistance. Lithuanians gathered in large numbers to sing traditional folk songs and express their desire for independence. In 1989, Lithuania joined Latvia and Estonia in the Baltic Way, a human chain spanning over 600 kilometers, symbolizing unity and a shared vision of freedom. On March 11, 1990, Lithuania became the first Soviet republic to declare independence. Although the Soviet Union initially responded with economic blockades and military pressure, the resilience of the Lithuanian people prevailed. Following the failed Soviet coup in 1991, Lithuania's independence was formally recognized by the international community. A modern Lithuania, a European success story. Since regaining independence, Lithuania has undergone a remarkable transformation. The country embraced democracy and market reforms, joining the European Union and NATO in 2004. These memberships marked Lithuania's integration into the Western political and economic spheres, providing security and economic opportunities. Lithuania adopted the euro in 2015, further solidifying its place within the European community. Vilnius, the capital, has become a vibrant center of culture, education, and technology. The city's Old Town, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, attracts visitors from around the world with its stunning Baroque architecture and rich history. Lithuania has also made significant strides in innovation, particularly in renewable energy and digital infrastructure. The country's focus on sustainability and education has positioned it as a leader in the Baltic region. Lithuania's achievements extend to the international stage, where it plays an active role in advocating for human rights and supporting democratic movements in neighboring countries. Despite challenges such as emigration and regional security concerns, Lithuania remains a beacon of resilience and progress. From its ancient tribal roots to its role as a modern European state, Lithuania's story is one of resilience and pride. Today, Lithuania stands as a testament to the determination of its people to preserve their culture, language, and independence despite centuries of adversity. Its journey through history highlights the importance of unity, identity, and the unyielding pursuit of freedom. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Lithuania's fascinating past. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share World History Explored to continue supporting in-depth historical content. Let us know in the comments what topic or country you'd like us to cover next. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring history.